Hi dear friends, welcome to our lesson again. Today our revision material is based on pronouns. Pronouns can be considered by some students easy topic, but some students find pronouns challenging and they confuse some points of pronouns. Today I'll try to explain the most challenging and confusing points of pronouns. Now let us start. First, I start my explanation with the types of pronouns. Here are the types of pronouns that are taught at our secondary schools. These types of pronouns are the personal pronouns. You know what are personal pronouns, the possessive pronouns, the reflexive pronouns, the demonstrative pronouns, reciprocal pronouns, the indefinite pronouns, the interrogative pronouns, the relative pronouns, conjunctive pronouns, the negative pronouns, and the defining pronouns. So let me give some examples about all these pronouns. The personal pronouns, I, you, he, you know, and it has two forms. We'll mention it, we'll speak about it. The possessive pronouns, my, your, mine, yours. Reflexive pronouns, myself, yourself, himself, herself. Demonstrative pronouns, this, that, these, those, etc. Reciprocal pronouns, each other, one another. The indefinite pronouns, some, any, someone, anyone, and so on. The interrogative pronouns, who, what, who, etc. Relative pronouns, who, whose, whom. The conjunctive pronouns, so again, who, whose, whom. Negative pronouns, no, neither, none, nobody, no one. The defining pronouns, both, either, every, all, other, another, etc. Now, what about the personal pronouns? From this table, dear friends, you see that personal pronouns have two types and two forms actually, subject form and object form. What do they mean? It means that subject pronouns are used only as a subject of the sentence, and their question is who and what. Who for I, you, he, she, we, you, and what and they, and what for it and they, because they is the plural form of he, she, and at the same time it. Object pronouns, they are me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them. What about the difference between object pronouns and subject pronouns? As I mentioned, that subject pronouns are used at the subject, so their position is at the beginning of the sentence. I am, you are, we go, they did, and what about that? You believe, it is, it did, it does, it has. And me, you, him, her, them, they are object forms. And difference is that they are subject and they are object. And what about the second difference is that object pronouns can be used with prepositions. We never say about I, we say about me. We don't say for he, we say for him. And we don't say for we say for us. If you pay attention to this table, you see that two pronouns, personal pronouns, you and it, have the same forms as subject and as object. And how to identify which is subject and which is object? Of course, according to their position in the sentence. If they stand at the beginning of the sentence, it means that before a verb, they are subject pronouns, but if they come after verb, in the middle of the sentence, they are object pronouns. For example, you love tea, and I see you. You see me. In this sentence, you is a subject because you are a functioner. You see me. But I see you. You are my object. I see you. It is delicious. It is subject. I like it. It here is an object. Possessive pronouns. They have two forms as well. One of them is subordinate form, and the second one is absolute form. What does it mean? It means that after these forms, we use objects. They are not used alone. But what about absolute forms? They don't require any noun or any object or any word. What is the purpose of using the second form? That we avoid of repetition. For example, it is not my pen, it is yours. Or we can say it is your pen. You see that using of the word pen two times, it gives us the meaning of repetitive, that they are repeated. We don't want the word pen to be repeated second time. In that case, we use the absolute form of possessive pronouns. Absolute form of the possessive pronouns. And what about the question for possessive pronouns? Is whose? Whose book? Mine. Whose book? Yours. Whose book? His. Whose book? His book. So again, his and his, its and its, they have the same form as conjunctive form and as absolute form. So again, how to differ them and how to find out either it is that we have to use noun after it, or we don't need to use any noun after it. So it depends on the context. Or his name is John, but his is, for example, Nike. Both are male names, and his name is Mike. That I point to one boy and saying that his name is Mike. And what about the next one is Nick? And instead of saying that his name is, we say that, but his is, for example, Nike or Nick. And what about defining pronouns? Defining pronouns, especially these pronouns, are very or frequently or are very often confused by our language learners and our students. Now let us see what is the difference between another, other, and the other or the others. From this table you see that another is used with singular countable nouns. Remember, singular countable nouns. Because in front of the another we see article N. This is indefinite article. As you know, indefinite article is used with singular countable nouns. So it gives us understanding that with another we don't use plural nouns or we don't use non-count nouns. What about the meaning? Meaning is that one more and alternative. For example, can you manage another piece of cake? That means that I do want one more piece of cake. Then second one, you wouldn't remember me. I was in another group. It means that I was in an alternative group. He tried his fortune in another city. It means that he went to one more city, another city. What about the other? Other is used with plural, singular nouns, and other can be used with countable nouns and non-countable nouns as well. For example, that its meaning is different, additional, or extra. But here is a one more and alternative, remember. But what about here? Different, additional, or extra. For example, does life exist on other planets? It means that additional planet or extra planet. We disputed with each other on various issues. I'm sorry, but I have other plans. It means that I have extra plans, I have additional plans. The other is used with singular nouns and with plural nouns. Why the article? We use the other if we speak about the definite things, definite person or definite objects. And their means are the second of two things, people, animals, or groups. For example, Sally is starting to play with the other children. That we know which children they are talking about with the other children. So this group of children is familiar to us. Then while the other children played together, Ted ignored them. Then the grass is greener on the other side. That here are two sides, or the street has two sides. On one side, the grass is green, but on the other side, grass is greener. Other as a determiner. Other can be used as a determiner, and other can be used as a subject and as an object. It means that as a pronoun. Other as a determiner, so it requires singular, uncountable nouns or plural nouns. It means that singular, uncountable, countable, and plural nouns. For example, some music calms people. Other music has the opposite effect. Here, the meaning of other is different types of music. Second, what other books by Charles Dickens have you read apart from Oliver Twist? You see its meaning in the bracket. It is additional or extra books. It means that you have read Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Now, I want to get information about if you have read other books as well. It means additional or extra books as well. That here the meaning of other is additional or extra, and it has been used as a determiner. Then the third sample is, this one is too big. Do you have it in other size? It means that alternative size. It is not my size, so I would like a larger size. And its meaning here is an alternative. And in all three sentences, other has been used as a determiner. If other is used as a determiner, its question is which. Which books by Charles Dickens, which music has the opposite effect, or which size would you like? The other, to be used as a pronoun. If it is used as a pronoun, it means that it refers back to something which has been mentioned already in the sentence. For example, he had his hat in one hand and a bunch of the flowers in the other. You see, in the other has been used as a pronoun, as an object, and here we didn't want to repeat the word hand for the second time, so we used the other as a pronoun. If we use hand here, in that case, other will be used as a determiner, and the question will be which. Second example, she has two kittens, one is black and the other is all white. You see that it means that I have only two kittens, yeah, and we avoid of repetition, that we don't want to repeat the word kitten for the second time, and we are satisfied with using just only the other. It means that two things, two kittens, one is white and the other one is black. Another, as we mentioned that another can be used as a determiner and another can be used as a pronoun. Now let us see. We use another with a singular noun. You know it and you remember it. For example, would you like another cup of tea? It means that one more, additional. You have met Linda, but I have another sister who you haven't met. Her name is Margaret. It means that I have one more sister. You know just only one of them. And my second sister's name is Margaret. Another as a pronoun. Now, let us read the example here. The applications are examined by one committee, then passed on to another. It means that passed to another committee. Here, another is used as a pronoun. Now, dear friends, let us do some exercises concerning to using of other, another, and the other. And after doing these exercises, I'm sure that you will not confuse these three pronouns, or you will not find doing it challenging. Now let us start. Kelly lost her pen and her mother promised to buy her gap one. The other one, or the others, or another one. Mother promised to buy her one more. It means additional. Our answer is D. We can't use the others. Why the others? Because if other is used as a determiner, they can't be used in a plural form. The others and others can be used only as a subject and as a object, but nothing about them to be used as a pronoun. We never say the other girls, we say the other girls. Second, there were very few pupils in the classroom, so the teacher asked where were. We speak about the particular group of the children that who are in the classroom and which one to be there, where it is determined, or the other to be used as a determiner or to be used as a pronoun. Of course, as a pronoun. Where are the others? Because we speak about the rest of the children who have to be in the classroom. Third one, there is only one sleeper under the bed. Actually, we have a pair of sleepers, and I have found one of them. And where is, which one? Of course, where is the other? Other here is in the role of pronoun. Which of the two books will you recommend me to read? Neither. One of them is dull. If you ask my opinion about these two books, one is dull. And what about the second? It means that the other, of course, is very dull. One of them is dull, and the second one is very dull. Sentence 5. In summer, some people prefer to stay in town, while, what about others, or the others go to the country? We speak generally, so we don't need to add there the others. What about others? Yes, others go to the country. John and boys went fishing. John and which one? We can't use another because boys are in plural. Then we can't use the others because if other is used as a determiner, nothing about other to be used in plural. So it is the same with D variant. So in that case, C variant is the correct variant, the other boys. Seventh, will you have cup of tea? Do you remember when I started explaining another, I said that the meaning of another is one more, additional. Will you have, but not others, because cup is here. If others is in plural, it can't be used as a determiner. The other cup of tea, it is incorrect. The others also, determiners can't be used in plural. And what about the last one? Another cup of tea. I offer you to drink one more cup of tea, which meaning goes to another. Now every is a defining pronoun, and after every, remember, after every we use only singular countable nouns. Every is used as a determiner. You say every plus singular noun, which refers individually to all the members that of complete group of something. So after every we use a noun in a singular, and what about subject and verb agreement? It goes to the third person singular. Every isn't understood as a singular noun or as that the meaning of singular. Every denotes to the whole group. For example, every country, every city in this country. I mean all cities in the country. We say every city in this country. Every girl in our class. I mean all girls in our class. Try to answer every question. There are, for example, 20 questions. I want you to answer all the questions here, every question, but not every questions. Every player wants to be in a winning team. Though every refers to all the members of the complete group, after every, as we mentioned, after every we use singular noun, and the subject is a singular, so that's why our verb is in the singular as well. Every player wants to be in a winning team, but not every player want or every player wants. Every player wants. Remember it. The negative of every, of course, is not every. For example, every player wants, not every player wants. Not every noun has a plural form. Remember, every user has their own password. You can ask me why every is in the singular, why they are. Because every user or every player doesn't give us a clear understanding. Either we speak about women or we speak about men. So that's why we use they are if we speak about people. But if we speak about objects, we use its. For example, every country has its own capital city, or every country has its own flag or has its own national currency. Now, I want to draw your attention to this table. Here you see that pronouns to be used always in the singular, and what about pronouns to be always in plural and singular or plural. For example, each requires a singular noun, and then what about verb subject agreement? It goes to the third person singular. For example, each girl is, each boy is, but each of the girls is. Verb agrees with each, but not girls. Every girl or every boy, then one of the girls or one girl, either girl or neither girl or another girl, everyone, everybody, everything. Though their meanings give us all, they require the verb in third person singular. Everyone is, everybody is, everything is. Anyone is, anybody is, anything is. No one is, nobody is, nothing is, someone does, somebody does, and something comes. Both refers to two things or two peoples. For example, both my sisters are students, and negative form of the both is neither. Both my sisters are students, neither sister is, or neither of my sisters is a student. Both, we don't use both in a negative sentence. Many, after many we use plural, because many is used with countable nouns in plural. Others as an object or as a subject, others require the verb to be in plural. For example, others are, others do, others believe. Several questions, several people, several types of music, few friends, few buses, fewer, it is comparative degree of few. None, after none we can use plural noun or singular noun. For example, none girl, none girls, none of the girls is, none of the girls are. Either way is possible. Some can be used with singular uncountable noun and plural countable nouns. For example, some music, some bread, some tea, some coffee, but some people, some languages, some countries. More More can be used with countable nouns and with uncountable nouns. For example, more music, then more rice, more butter, and more books, more girls, or more notebooks. Most, so again, we use most with singular nouns, that these singular nouns are uncountable nouns. For example, most, most sand or most butter or most of the butter, but most people, any question or any questions, all questions or all food, all rice. For example, all food was eaten, all rice was used. Reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns, when we use reflexive pronouns, so it means that the action belongs to the subject, to the functioner. For example, I do it myself, so it means it is me who did it. So no one did it. It is me who did it. And pay attention to the forming of reflexive pronouns. For first person singular, we take its possessive form and plus self. Self for singular and self for plural. I, myself, you, yourself, she, herself, then we, ourselves, you, yourselves. What about he, it? That when we form the reflexive form of the he, for he, we don't take its possessive form, we take its object form. It is exception. Not his self, it is himself, and it is the same with itself as well. Why are you talking to yourself? He lives by himself. It means that he lives alone. There is no one who lives together with him. Or she did the translation herself. The film itself is very interesting. Or you can do it yourselves. That here are some examples. She wrote the letter herself. She worked. That the work itself was very difficult. We have washed the windows ourselves. No one helped us. And you must prepare your lessons yourself, or you must prepare your lesson yourself. If I speak about just only one person, yourself, it is more than it is yourselves. And in English language, there are some verbs that they are used with reflexive pronouns. So they are feel yourself. So it means that when I have a guest, in order my guest to feel okay, I say feel yourselves at your home. Then burn yourself. While making tea, she burned herself. Now let us do some tests. This is the mixed test. Now see how much we remember. The first, of course, all their instructions are the same. Choose the correct pronoun. Now let us start with the first one. The Smiths lived in Moscow, but later decided to move to city. But later, Smiths refer to the whole family, and if with the surname we use, with surname is used in plural, that it is understood as plural. Yeah. In that case, we can't use here A, E, and what about C, B, D? They, but later they decided to move to, can we use other city? Of course, we can't use other city because other as a determiner can't be used in plural. And what about the others? So the same explanation. Our right variant is, of course, B. They decided to move to another city. Second one, there was interesting on TV yesterday. That is why I didn't watch. That second sentence is the key for our answer. If I didn't watch, so it means that I didn't find anything interesting. Now, something okay? Of course, no. Something isn't the right answer. What about everything? Something, A, C, E. are incorrect variants. And what about B and D? Now let us see. There was nothing interesting on TV yesterday. That's why I didn't watch. It is a possessive case, yeah. But what about it? So it substitutes the TV. Our okay variant is B. Third one, I have lost gaps my notes. Can I have and gaps? I have lost all my notes. All are here. We can't use each or every. Why? Because each and every requires the noun to be in singular, but what about here? Noun is in plural. So that's why we can't use each or every. And plus, after every, what about of? We can't use of. We use each of, but every one of. And what about this one? Can I have her? Can I have her? Her can't be used here because her is a possessive pronoun which requires noun after it. That there is no noun. A is incorrect as well. And what about C? I have lost all my notes. Can I have yours? It means that can I have your notes? What about number 5? Choose the correct pronouns. So again, no house is as popular as. What about no another, no and another, no and another? We can't use no and another together. So C, E, and P variants are incorrect variants. And popular as they are, it is also incorrect because here you don't see any object. So we can't use this one. And what about this one, D variant? No other house is as popular as theirs. And the last one here, no composition was as good as. No another, no another, no other. A, C, and E variants are incorrect variants. And what about here? Our. We can't use our. Why? Because we don't see any noun there. And our right version is other. No other composition was as good as hers. Dear friends, dear 10th and 11th grade students, I think that after revision of the pronouns, you will find it easy to do your test regarding or concerning to the pronouns, that all types of the pronouns. If you have any difficulties, you can ask your teachers or your peers for advice. But my piece of advice for you, if you do as many tests as possible, and if you are eager to challenge yourselves, you will find everything to become gradually easier for you. So that's all for today. Bye. See you.